you ever read a book where you completely mess up the POVs? Like you're reading and it's dual POV. You've never just swapped them real fast.
No. Like, what do you mean real fast? How long does this go on for?
Like half of the book. Like,
no,
have you ever
Sheridan.
Well, I don't even think it was half the book. I just think I misread important upfront chapters, like some chapters at the beginning that were important to set the scene. I misread as the opposite people. So for the rest of the book, I was like, what is going on? Like, I was so confused.
The only time I've ever done it, I've done it like for like a couple pages and I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't, and I'll like pop back and be like, oh, okay.
Excuse me. Pages. You gave me so much crap over this, and lo and behold, you've done it. And
half the book versus pages, Sheridan. I didn't need to abandon ship. This doesn't make any sense.
It didn't because the characters were all mixed up.
I gave you gold and you destroyed it.
I'm sorry. I tried to read Business Casual in the Love Light Farm series, and the books are fantastic. The author does an amazing job. It is not the books. It's not the author's fault. It's just
Sheridan.
me. I just swapped them. But I think it's because we expect to not have an MMC's POV so early in the book. Like, that's rare. It is. To read books with,
That's interesting. I think it's only rare if, like, they're trying to set up you not knowing what the MMC is thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the only time they kind of ease you into the MMC is when they want there to be like a misunderstanding on your end for a while.
Okay.
Like does he like her? Does he not like her? How is he feeling? I feel like that's when they do it. Because if they give you both point of views and serve it up right away, you're like, just chat. You guys love each other. I'm done.
True. Yeah. Yes, that's true. I don't know. I know we've read a lot of similar books. For some reason, it did not. I thought it was her POV the whole time. And the FMC had many a life, many a journey. I was like, okay. Like,
I think you got a couple personalities.
I don't know why that happened to me. I don't know. But anyways, it's a fantastic series. So,
yeah.
But
well, it
hasn't happened since. Yeah. It hasn't happened since. It's just that one time.
Are you going to go back and read it, though, from the beginning? Or, like, what's your game
plan?
One
day. Yeah, I will.
One day.
I will. It is amazing.
It's my favorite in the series. So that's why it, like, breaks my heart.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. Again, I don't know what I did. I don't know if I was distracted. I don't know what I was doing while reading. I just could never get to the fact that Charlie had a POV. So Nova, was all the characters. So it was very confusing. What was going on? So,
you got a lot of businesses.
Yeah, there's a lot happening for this one character.
All right, you want to get into it?
Yes.
All right, I'm Jordan.
I'm Sheridan.
And together we're Sipping on Spice podcast.
Yes, and we get together once a week and we talk about all things books. So we talk about books that we've recently read and other bookish content. And this week, we're just going to be talking about a lot of different content. But I think we're also going to call out one of our recent social media posts where we asked you to tell us your most toxic book traits. And we're going to discuss them.
I'm excited to talk about some of those. I love doing those and like hearing from you guys because some of the things are like super relatable, or some of the things genuinely stop me in my tracks. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I want to talk about it more. And I love it. Love
me too.
Stuff. So definitely going to keep doing those because I like
other people's perspective. Like I like hearing what they have to say as their submission.
Yeah. And sometimes it just kind of feels validating, you're like, yeah, man, me too.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So something I want to talk about, because we just did the whole Fearless spoiler and you found something out, the Fearless spoiler episode by Lauren Roberts, and you sent me something and I was like, oh my God, yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Okay. So I saw a TikTok and it was Lauren Roberts talking about her journey as an author. And when she wrote Powerless, the first in the series, she was 18 and we are in our early 30s. So I think that maybe led to some of our perspective on reading those books, because it made me think of what would I feel like reading Twilight now versus when I read Twilight at 16, where you're like, oh, this is amazing.
This is
and you
love.
can relate to it. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. When you said that, because I think it was ages 18 to 22. So this last book, she's 22. So she's 10 years younger than us. So I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense and makes it so much more like, okay.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, I can totally see where people come from now, because I've always told you, I felt like it's a young love. Like, I don't feel like it's a forever love. So all of my feedback has always just been like, this sounds like your high school boyfriend, right? Like, sounds like the guy you outgrow and you look back and you're like, that was not love. And so I think it makes a lot of sense to me, because I'm like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, if I wrote love at 18, it would probably look like that.
It would, yes. And I think, again, that's why I'm like, okay, what if we read stuff that we really loved at 18 to 22, or rewatched it or whatever, consume media, we'd probably be like, oh, our thoughts have changed.
Twilight, I think it's only safe to say that you're Team Charlie. As like a 30-year-old, I'm like, honestly, lock her up. She has no business with this guy.
No, she was miserable. So yeah, I thought when I saw that, I was like, oh. And then also it made me think, like, how cool she's written such amazingly popular books that at that age. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I just think it's interesting. It's interesting what perspective and time does.
Oh, I totally agree.
We should reread Twilight, though. We should.
That'd be hilarious.
We should adult perspective Twilight.
That would be hilarious. And then when we're in our 50s, what are we going to think about? Like, it's just interesting. Like, you know what I mean? Media.
I'd like to think I've peaked in maturity.
Okay.
I'm all set on life lessons.
I'm sure there's maturity to come, but yes.
Okay. Okay. So something I've been dying to talk to you about.
Yeah.
That I've noticed in a couple books we've read recently. And I won't say, well, I guess I could say without spoiling. One is Wild and Wrangled. I've noticed as like a micro subtrope, like just like a little like nuance that a story can have, that is a guaranteed way to make me cry. Aww. And it is when there's letters in the book. Like letters from the past, like if there's like a second chance or something like that. Anytime there's letters, I am a sob fest. I am like, that is my ultimate weakness right now. And when I see it, I'm like, not the letters.
I think it's really sweet and romantic that they took the time to write letters. You know what this makes me think of? Okay, it is such a romantic micro trope. Eat it up for sure. The ultimate letter writing that will your heart, like that will just pierce you and all the feelings, is actually the Cruel Prince series. I don't want to spoil anything because it's tied to a specific plot point. Letters. Okay. Letters.
That's been on my TBR for one eternity, and we'll get into it later. Of like, I think in our next episode we're going to talk about another question we did of like people who were disappointed by books, and the Cruel Prince came up a lot.
Interesting. I'm shocked by that, but that's interesting.
I am too.
But yes.
It's like I only ever hear good things, so I was like shocked. So we'll talk about that more in our next episode.
Okay.
I was like, oh, but it's been on my TBR for forever. So it's like anytime you hear something like slightly negative on something you've been putting off reading, you're like,
yeah. Oh, I'm going to put it off longer. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
That was right. Yeah.
It was right.
Like, that's just going to get farther. But no, I do think letters are so romantic, especially when they take the time and they write them out. And then the other character receives them and reads them. Oh, yes.
And so it ties romantic. Everything together. Okay. So I can think of 3 top of mind that are like absolute game changers for me. Okay. My recents. Okay. Number 1, Enchantra. Some letters in that. Number 2, Wild and Wrangled. That one absolutely devastated my heart. And number 3 is In a Jam.
Yes. Oh,
letters,
yes.
Man.
Oh, that's so romantic.
Letters subtrope. Eat it up. Eat it up.
Okay, so speaking of a subtrope that I've been obsessed with lately, like I cannot get enough of. Like if they have it, I want to read it. And I just read one that I was like, wow, okay, I am on board, but I would never be on board in real life. Never be on board in real life. And it is like The Arranged Marriage or Marriage of Convenience. Why is that so hot? Because in real life, it would be terrible. It could be terrible. It could be great. It could be terrible. Why is it so hot?
Okay, here's what I think it is. I think it's because, 1, it's instant angst, which we love.
Yes.
And number 2, I think it's because it creates this like protective, possessive MMC that is just like unparalleled. Do you know what I mean? Because he goes from like indifferent to like my wife.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so I just read To Jail to the Death God. I'd have to look up the name of the author, but it was like a fantasy romance, but it's like immediate marriage of convenience. That's not a spoiler. It's in the description, but it was done so insanely well. I was like,
Ooh.
this trope, fantastic. I'm invested.
Yeah. And it's like they can't just like sneak out, you know what I mean? Like there can't be like an easy out. It's just like there's something about it that's like, well, you're in it. And then when they get possessive, you're just like, yes. Like it's almost like you weren't supposed to be possessive, but you became possessive.
Exactly. Because they're that obsessed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Heat it up.
It's fine.
Okay. You know, it's been interesting to me lately, and I want to know if it's just books I've read or books you've read too, because we've kind of been on our own journeys lately. I have noticed that almost every FMC I've read lately has like waves or curly hair. It's always like she washed her hair and didn't dry it, because apparently people can do that, and it fell into soft waves or curls down her back. Like there's no pin straight haired ladies here, or nobody who needs to like absolutely dry their hair.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if I don't dry my hair, that's a ponytail day. There is no, oh, she didn't dry her hair. Like that's just crazy.
You blow dry your hair every day when it's wet?
Well, like when
you blow dry it?
Okay, hang on. So if I'm going, like say I wash my hair, right? And I'm going to go out into the public, I either need to blow dry it, or it's like I washed it the day before, I let it air dry, and then I'm going to apply some form of heat to it.
Makes sense.
I would never wash my hair, not dry it, and not ponytail the situation. My hair is just not made for that. It would look crazy.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's not straight. It's not wavy. Like it's just like you would look at it and be like, did you brush that? Like, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't look at it and be like, oh, what beautiful natural hair. Like that would never happen. You'd be like, babe, I think you need a detangler.
So your English accent impersonation is back.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. You whipped it back out. I guess you're right. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't think of any time hair is discussed, to be honest, in recent reads. Like curly, wavy, or pin straight.
Really?
Like I can't think of any. I mean, so I've recently read. I tried Business Casual, In the Weeds or Into the Weeds, Love Light Farms. I've also read like the Lila Sage series, the Ursa Dax Aliens, the Cowboy Colony series. And I don't remember hair ever being spoken, but
they talk about their hair.
They do.
They do, but that's fine.
Yeah.
At least you got the point of POVs, right?
I got the POVs right. I'm going to tell you something truly terrible. Truly terrible. If there's dialogue and then there's description, sometimes, just depending, I'll just skip to the dialogue. And then, like, so maybe I'm missing the hair.
Aren't you worried you're going to miss something? Like, I don't know, a whole point of view?
Like POVs. Now, if it's like fantasy romance, no, because then like there's a lot of detail that goes into the setup. So not fantasy
Contemporary. I will say if there's like a heavy description, like I'm talking like a page, I get into skim territory, because I'm just not a great mental picturer, if that's how you say it. So like after like a couple, like the room was green, there was a chair in it. Like if you describe to me like the kitchen, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I see a kitchen.
But you do pick up hair.
Yeah, because it's always like, because you want to picture the FMC or the MMC. Mm-hmm, so it's always like her long hair was wavy down her back. And now I'm trying to picture you, right? But why is it always wavy?
I don't know. Is wavy really in style right now?
So are you saying you don't dry your hair?
No, I'm sorry. I'm also it's going to bother
you. Do you apply heat?
No, only if I'm going out to see people. Pretty much every day of my life, I let my hair air dry and I just brush it.
But like if you come to see me, like when I see you, have you applied heat?
No.
I hate you.
No, but I mean, now I'm thinking like my
I hope you enjoy your book. I hope you enjoy being the FMC.
I don't have wavy hair.
I mean, it would still be like, oh, she let it dry and walked out. And maybe that's what I'm more mad about. The wavy hair.
I'm just thinking, but if now I'm like, oh my God, does my hair always look terrible? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Apparently you and the FMCs figure out how to walk out and air dry your hair. I look like frizzy. Like my hair takes on like a frizzy quality too.
So you have a different hair type. Yes. You have a different hair type.
It's honestly like I could not give you a description of my hair because it's like in between all the hairs. It's not like You know what I mean? So it's just like it's like a sad mixture where it's just like, what if you were nothing but also everything?
That's what, you're so funny. You're so funny.
Well, I'm glad this makes you laugh. I'm glad my sad hair. I'm glad the extra 20 minutes I have to spend on my hair is funny to you.
Stop. But you have this like thick, luscious, healthy hair. I have super thin hair. So if I'm applying heat like the majority of days, I'm frying that hair off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it needs to air dry. So, or to be any semblance of healthy and grow.
Also, if I like wash my hair and lay down and sleep, like
hair, that's a no-go. I can't do that.
It does something to my like roots area where it creates like a kink up top that like not even heat can solve. Like if I fall asleep with wet hair, like that's a ponytail time until next shower.
Yes.
Like there is no comeback from that.
Yes. Let us know in the comments if you can go to bed with wet hair and just magically have hair that works for the next day. Because absolutely
I don't want to know. I'm gonna hate you too. You're gonna make it onto my list.
Well, apparently I've made it onto it a few times. The POVs,
user 1235 is Anger Jordan.
Exactly. That's hilarious.
Okay. Oh my God. So something I've noticed lately is on social media is like, have you ever seen those TBR jars where people will like put all the books that they want to read into a TBR jar and pull it out of it? You've never seen this? So what people will do is they'll take like a jar, like a mason jar, let's say, and they'll write on little pieces of paper all the physical books they have that they haven't read yet, and they'll put it in there. And then they'll just mix it around and pull one out and then read that book.
Oh, okay.
Can you imagine? I cannot. Every time I see it, I'm like, I'm waiting for them to be like, no, draw again. Like that would be me. I'd be like, no, not this one either. No, not this. It'd be a 20-minute video of me being like, no, until I pick the book I want.
Well, they must not be mood readers either. Like they must be like, must have a plan what they're going to read. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Because I think
don't you feel like no matter what it is, you'd be disappointed even if you wanted to read it next? You'd be like, oh.
Yes, but this is totally a point, because you know how people say if you're ever between two different decisions or two options, actually pick one, and then if you feel disappointed, you'll know like how you really
wanted
feel.
The other one.
Yeah. So maybe the jar helps with that. Like if they can't pick a book, maybe then the jar helps because then they see it.
They don't do 20 cuts, so I don't know.
Maybe they don't show you. Maybe they are and they don't show you. That would be me.
It would just be like, maybe. Like I'd have a maybe TBR pile.
Yes. There you go. Okay.
Anyways, I was like, this is just absolute blasphemy to me. Like you have to be a different kind of solid to do that.
Or they must not be mood readers. Okay, so I have something that drives me crazy in books that I've recently discovered.
Is it when you can't figure out what point of view is what?
That happened with one book, one time.
Never letting it go.
Mix up the POVs, and it changed my experience. How many times of back and forth, like we're going to be together, but we can't be together because there's something tearing us apart, like is acceptable. I feel like you can only do back and forth in a book where it's enjoyable and angsty and it feels like validated like twice. Like you can do we can be together, we can't be together twice max. I recently read a book.
You're saying like before they truly date?
Yes.
Like, let's kiss. No, don't kiss me. Kind of thing,
right? Basically.
Yeah.
You can do that twice.
Two times.
Or bang. They be banging. And then they're like, oh, we can't be together. Can't bang anymore. Yeah, it was a very spicy book. The spice was quite nice. But like they be banging and then they'll be like, oh, but we can't do this ever again. 4 times. That is too much. In my opinion.
This 4th time will be the charm. Nobody's ever said that.
No, I still think like 3 times is too many times. In my opinion.
3 times is too many, but people do say 3rd time's the charm.
True. That's the saying for a reason. Again, if you're out there and you love it, like you eat that up and you like all the times makes you happy, like you're like, give me all the back and forth, no judgment. Just in my personal opinion, twice like is the max. Yes. And we don't want whiplash.
Do we want to know what book this was?
Do you want to know what book it was?
But does it technically spoil anything?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the whole book. It's like the very last chapter is like, we shall.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil. So, yeah, because I'm always very cautious now. But, yeah, 4 times is too many times. More than 2 is too many times.
We're going to talk toxics.
Toxicity. Let's do it.
Taxidoodle. The taste of your lips. Okay.
That was beautiful.
Okay, this is actually one of my favorites.
Okay.
You just want to talk about ones that we want to talk about? We'll just go back and forth. I'm on TikTok currently.
Okay, I'm on Instagram.
Perfect. So one of our friends, Nen's the dark romance author, commented, I won't read the book if the book describes it as pulse pounding. You don't describe my bodily functions.
That is hilarious. They're like, you don't tell me what to do.
There's something so real about that. Who's like, oh, we'll see who's pulse pounding. It's not going to be me because I'm not reading this.
I love that. That is hilarious.
Also, is that like good or bad?
Yeah.
Like what?
Is my pulse pounding in a good way? Am I anxious? Yeah. Am I going to have a heart attack?
Is that sexy or is it suspenseful?
Do you need to go to the hospital?
Am I going to have a heart
happening?
I have heart palpitations.
I do. So I don't need more. I agree with this commenter. I don't need more. I just need coffee.
They admit you and they're like, what really kind of triggered this? And you're like, well, have you ever read?
You see what happened was. I love that one.
I haven't had any coffee, but I did read.
So this is a good question. Has a book ever given you like pulse pounding feelings?
Oh, for sure. I would say any Catherine Cowles. Even if I somewhat know what's going to happen, I'm anxious. Because I am the kind of person who gets anxious if I can see the other shoe. Like there have even been predictable books where they kind of allude to things happening. Like for example, like if you've ever read a book, and I'm making this up, and they're like, she has allergies. She has really bad allergies. She has really bad life-altering allergies. You know what I mean? You say that 3 times, I hear what's going to happen is some life-threatening allergic situation is going to happen. And that's going to be like the second shoe. So the whole time, anytime this chick picks up food, I'm thinking, you're going to, this is going to be the shoe. And I get stressed because I know.
That's so responsible.
Like Ben Stiller movies.
Yes.
I feel stressed the whole time.
I love it.
Because he's just going to fuck it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is his whole character. Is like, he is bound to fuck it up. And so all I think the whole time is, when's he going to do it?
Yes. Yeah. I feel that way if people I'll get the heart palpitations, the pulse pounding, if people are like kidnapped or if they're like taken or if there's like something happening with like certain level, like, I don't know, like fantasy romance a lot. Like, there'll be, yeah, exactly. Okay. So I have one that was on Instagram and I thought it was hysterical because this is me in books, but also in all aspects of life. And it's T in Tales with Toya. She responded basically that 2 things. So that I was like, oh yes. First is if she really loves a book, she won't loan it out. Like she won't let people borrow it. Like she would even buy them this book because she cannot let go of like her copy of it. That is me to a T. I will give anyone anything, but the concept of being like, I love this, I'm going to let you borrow it, and then I need to trust you to give it back to me. No trust. I don't trust people. Like,
so I agree with this only because I learned this the hard way. So now, like if I lend out a book, it's because like I've got a duplicate, or it's like my mom, where I'm just going to like steal it back. You know what I mean? Like I lend my mom books because I know like, if she betrays me, I can just go take it off her shelf. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not going to be like, it's not going to be like a friend where you have to be like, cause when a friend borrows it, you have to be like, so did you read that book?
Borrowed a book and I didn't give it back to you? I don't think I did that.
No.
Okay, good. I was like, oh my God, hopefully I'm not an offender of my own thing. Like,
no, I would tell you.
Terrible.
I would treat you like my mom and I'd be like, oh, cool bookshelf. I see my book that I haven't gotten back.
I need this now.
When we meet, I'd be like, oh, is that a copy of blank?
Right.
Looks a little bit like it was mine.
Like, that looks familiar. I'm literally in a book club and someone was like, can I borrow Onyx Storm? And I was like, yes, but I'm
just gonna buy you Onyx Storm.
Yeah. And give yes. So then I never have to ask for it back.
Yeah. I learned that the hard way. I did that and now I'm like, I've never seen that book.
You're like, it is now their book.
Me and that book have parted ways, I think.
Right. Exactly. You're like, that now belongs to someone else. It's
heartbreaking, but it's real.
It is real. Okay. All right. What's another one that you want to talk through? I have another one from Insta after.
Oh my God. So this one was wild to me because we've talked about how you and I every now and then will read like the ending of a book.
Yes.
Like skip to the end. This person said, yes, this person, Aaliyah, said, I start most books in the middle and read to the end. Then I go back to the beginning afterward to read the middle end, depending on how much I like it.
That's impressive to not mix up things, though. That's impressive.
Right. That was actually what I thought is like, think of how like great you have to be at context clues. Because if I got in halfway, I'd be like, when the did we get ice cream? You know what I mean? Like, I would not have any idea what was up. And so to have like the ability to just do that, like, it was almost more impressive than anything because it's like good. I mean, you skip all the world building, whether it's, you know, IRL or not, but
right.
You just dove like you're in the weeds with people.
That is such a skill and what a memory. And like you said, the ability to pick up on context clues, talk about not mixing up POVs, like talk about
you couldn't read the book from the beginning, Sheridan.
One time.
Honestly, you couldn't do it from start to finish. Just don't even kid about the middle.
One time. What happened one time. Now, next book, I just want to try to start it in the middle. I want to check this out. I want to see how this goes. Like, is this the play?
I suggested to you.
I'll do a different one. Have I hurt your feelings? I haven't finished Business Casual?
No, it's just I know you love it. So now here's the problem is that you started halfway. So now when you reread it, it's kind of boring because you've already read it. So you're having a hard time getting back into it. So you'll never, until you forget the book, you have to completely forget the book and start again. And it's sad because I like this was like my favorite of the series. So I was like, I loved this one. You would love this one.
And then I will.
And then it's just now we're gonna wait till you forget.
I'm sure I will. Don't let me forget talking about books that we forget real quick after we read this out. Do not have another point.
Like 3 months after I read a book, gone.
Yeah, you're like, it's like what happened? Who are you? Come back. Okay, so another one that I thought was just like hilarious and I just absolutely loved is because I do this all the time too, actually. And I'm sure people, if they saw me, would be like, is that what's going on? They'd have questions. But it's that they stand at their bookshelves and talk to their books sometimes, like staring at them lovingly and like touching them so none of the books like feel left out. Like they're very like, we love you, pretty books. I will walk by and like the really pretty books, I'll be like, oh my God, that book is so pretty. Like you're so pretty. Like I will do that.
I don't talk to them, but I do like I walk by and I like look and I've got like a lamp right by mine. So I like turn on the lamp for better lighting. So that I can look at them. You gotta get the lighting to look at it. Yeah. And then I just like stand there and think about it. Sometimes I think about if it's time for me to rearrange them. If my pretty books are being displayed enough. Like I'm close to needing a third bookshelf. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, is it time? How would I change things?
I can respect that. I think I don't even think that trait is toxic. Like what they submitted on the post. So we talk about that's not toxic.
No, I think that's real.
No,
I think
it's real.
That's just like it's like, okay, if I had like a different collection, like I'm trying to think of things one collects. Say you collect pops or something. The whole point is to look at them. Yeah,
very true. You know, very, very true.
You know what I mean? So like my books are my collection.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I think you have to that's what brings joy. Like you look at them and you're like, oh, I love this book. It's so great. Okay. I remember it. Yes.
So this one's fantastic. I haven't read anything without cannibalism in the last 9 months.
Oh my God. This one shooketh us. Shooketh. So many questions. So many questions on this statement.
She just said that she was going through and the algorithm. She said she started with Bativa's Graveyard. Okay. And from there, the algorithm just kept suggesting things. I think that's so funny because I feel like, especially if you go through suggestions, I feel like by the third, I'd be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why is everybody getting eaten? You're like,
what is happening? Kindle Unlimited, why are you recommending this to me? My goodness.
Was everybody getting eaten here too?
Like was hilarious. I laughed so hard. And then it's because like probably like Butcher and Blackbird, look at that. It may dabble in cannibalism, but it is a fantastic book.
And it also makes you think like, okay, if you were to get like a post, like, you know how sometimes you look at like post tropes, so you're like, it's like somebody will post like single dad or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, do you think there's like posts out there like subtrope cannibalism?
Maybe.
These are my favorite cannibalistic reads for you.
This is why I recommend them. That's hilarious. I mean, maybe.
Instead, mine's letters, yours is cannibalism. But I mean, hey, if you like it, who cares? I mean, I thought Butcher and Black was good. So I mean, who knows? It could be written well.
Yeah.
I mean, well, love is a hard word because it traumatized me, but I enjoyed reading it.
Yes. Yes. I was traumatized in a way that I thought was hysterical. Like now looking back on some of these, like it's so well written. It's like, what did I just read?
Yeah.
I'm invested in the love story, but also what did I just read?
Right.
But in a really good way.
Okay. I've got one more that I have to talk about. Okay. I thought was really relatable to me.
Okay.
And it was, ready. She said, this Taylor, and she said, I have not read a book written by a man in at least a decade.
Yes. I love that one too. Super relatable. I have a point to make on this one. Yes.
Yeah, yes, I went to we went to a book convention, and remember we walked to a booth and there was a guy there and I was like, ugh. And then he said his wife actually wrote the books and, and she was just like on a panel or something, and I was like, oh, okay, go ahead. Because I don't know. I mean, I do know what it is. I'd just much rather read a book with
Me too. And I think there's a deeper reason. I will be corrected out there. If there is a book where you feel like the romance was excellently, fully fleshed out, please prove me wrong. I love being proven wrong. Post in the comments. But there was this book, I Have Been Burned. So there's this relationship that's been built up, this entire book, written by a man. It has been built up, the entire book. It's like his reason for being his character, right? Well, something happens to her. I don't want to spoil. Something happens to her. So she's out of the picture. A couple pages later, he gets with the friend. He has spent 8,000 plus pages. His whole character journey is about this one other character, this FMC. She's removed from the picture. Immediately, he's banging someone else. Immediately. We have spent thousands of pages. This book is massive on this journey. Immediately. And that book was written by a man.
Okay, can I ask you something? It's going to be,
yes.
I feel like I know what you're going to say. Take out that it was written by a man.
Yes.
If the roles were reversed and the MMC had died or been removed and the FMC was moved on 2 pages later, would you still like the book?
Probably. But it's okay. It's okay.
I knew you would say that. Listen, I agree with you. Yes. I was just like, I know that if it was the FMC, you'd been like, well, I mean, she was sad.
Right. And again, not like I would like some time where we see them grieve and be emotional like the FMC or the MMC. They fell back into immediate love. I don't know.
Oh.
Immediate love, not just banging. They're like, he's in love with this other woman now.
Oh, yeah.
Very different. Yeah, it was, right? That's
because then it's just like, I don't trust you.
Exactly.
You don't love her either. You don't love anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. But exactly. I just think men have the market on a lot.
Yeah.
Let's keep romance.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. And that commenter and that follower that commented that, I completely agree.
Yeah, 100%. I was like, honestly, nothing toxic here. Like I have definitely like picked up books where I was like, oh, maybe, and then I saw it was a man. And I was like, nah, never mind.
Yeah, and that's okay. I think that's okay because I think, again, like you said, men have the market on a lot. I want to support female authors.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Well, you heard it here first through the grapevine. If you like what you heard, you can find us on TikTok and Instagram at Sippin' on Spice.
Yes, and we also have a YouTube channel where we release episodes and also videos on different bookish content. So please go check us out there and like and subscribe.
Yep, we hope to see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.